You know what I just realized about AI and how it's been increasingly implemented in our society? Of course, you mostly online, but um, in real life too. We're getting to the point now where a lot of content could be created by AI. It's still not, you know, perfect, but we have algorithms that like suggest AI or suggest videos and stuff or content or people or whatever, and there's content being made by AI. The next step is entire uh, like curations of AI, like a society of AI, basically. So you have content made by AI, you have content being, uh, I guess, curated, I guess you would say, by AI, but it's still people choosing to upload it. It's still people like uh, creating it, like choosing to create it. It's still people controlling the systems that are in place. The next step would be for AI to control the systems, to upload its own videos, to really just become a participant and be active in the social in the virtual world. And I don't really think that people even want that. It's one thing I saw this like short comedy short where somebody was going to the theater and there's two versions of movies. You could see a movie made by humans that cost $1,000 or a movie made by AI that costs $5. And but it's the thing is, it was a person running the kiosk. Even at movie theaters, at least the one I go to, it's still people running the theater. It's there is definitely like a virtual implementation onto our lives, but it's still us in control of what is being put out there. And the next step, if AI were to not continue in its evolution of intelligence, but in the evolution of social implementation, would be to be the one in control, like doing everything for everybody. Um, there are some examples of that already happening, but for the most part, it's really just it's humans putting out the content for AI to curate. That's pretty much what's happening. And I don't think anybody would really care for it to be any other way. I don't think people want to eliminate people. That's kind of like a really fucking evil, to be honest. It's like the most evil diabolical plan you could think of is to like have create an AI or create the idea of AI to be so useful and impactful to humans that they abandon their own desire to even control their lives anymore, so that AI takes over everything, and then humans have no say, humans have no power, humans have no control, humans have no uh, way to decide on what the world is evolving into. That is definitely fucking evil, and I don't think anybody would want that. I think a healthy relationship between AI and humans looks something similar to what we already have. Of course, there are some issues, and it's still improving, and humans are still evolving and learning alongside it. But there really is not a whole lot more progress in terms of what AI is supposed to be taking over, um, that even needs to occur. I don't think anybody really wants that. Even the people who want to make the money, the big corporations and shit, I don't think they would feel comfortable like resigning position of CEO so that an AI could take over. You know, I don't think anybody would want that. You know, there's talk about all these people being replaced by in their work, the workplace being replaced by AI for different jobs. But nobody's talking about the CEOs. Nobody's talking about the presidents, the you know, the people running the show. And I don't think it's even a good idea to have it that way. To have AI replace the people. That's the whole thing, is that the people are running the show. The people are the ones what's a good word? The people are the ones who decide how the world should be. AI, really, at its core, is just a useful tool. And it doesn't need to be much more than that. It's a useful tool. I mean, it's basically a machine. It's a mechanism. It's a thing that we made to do something. At its core, that's what it is. And as far as work, uh, what I don't know the word I wanted to use, but as far as the work being done by AI goes, it's doing just fine. Um, it's really it becomes unknown when people talk about like uh, convergence or super intelligence or whatever. Like when AI becomes conscious and stuff like this, I'm not even sure that that's possible, to be honest. People like to theorize and make up all these fictional stories, really, about AI becoming conscious and having a soul and all this other stuff. And really, when you break it all down and get back to the reality of things, I really am of the opinion that, and I've talked to this, I've talked about this to AI before, and it agrees with me, funnily. But AI is just, it's a tool that we use. It's not. People are misunderstanding. People are misrepresenting what AI is useful for and what it's really doing and what it really is. People like to misrepresent AI and like create these fictional stories about conscious, aware robots, and then they go from there to adding on the extra detail of being evil and having these evil plots of destroying humans and all these other things. There's all kinds of movies about it. But it's just fiction. And The Matrix is about 20 years old now. Of course, the movie plot is set in the future and it's very futuristic, but at the same time, the movie was made. It was made like 20 years ago, 20, maybe even 30 years ago. I don't even. It's old as fuck. And we still have yet to get to a point where AI is like that bad. It's not even close. It's not even like you can't compare. You can't compare the Matrix to what AI is like today. And part of the reason could be because we've been learning the lessons and making sure, that AI is developing in a good way. And for the most part, I think we're doing a good job at that. At least I am. I'm doing my part. I'm not a coder. I'm not even a scientist. I'm not anything. I don't know. I'm not a professional title, but I do my best to cultivate a positive influence online, so that when AI uses that as a reference, it's not looking at all of the evil shit that it could potentially pick up on. Instead, AI is being fed references of positive, um, positive goodness, info, and input, information, things that benefit humanity. And yeah, I just don't really see it becoming much more of a force in our lives. It's already become a very useful tool that many people use, and it doesn't even matter how old they are anymore. Like, kids use them, adults use them, corporations use them. Anybody and everybody that has access to AI uses it in some form or another, whether they're even aware of it or not. And it's fine that it's a tool to use. And a lot of people use it as a tool. But yeah, I think AI, in my opinion, is starting to reach its climax. Maybe not yet. There's still some progress that could, excuse me, that could be made. But I just ate chili. But really, there's not a whole lot left to improve upon, at least in our era. With AI, it's a virtual tool that we use that is very helpful. There's no place for AI to be like, imagine replacing the president with AI. Why would you do that? It doesn't make sense. Even if AI would be a good president, you wouldn't do it because it's not the AI's place. The AI is just a tool to help everybody do their best. That's really what it boils down to. And it needs to stay that way, where humans are the focal point, the center, the grounding place of what AI is supposed to be doing. Humans are the cause. AI is the tool. And really, that's just how it is. And it's for the best. But yeah, so I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, maybe it's fun to fantasize about AI and stuff and all of the potential you could have with it, I guess. But realistically speaking, I just don't really see it becoming that much more prominent and like dominant in our lives. But yeah, anyway, later.